Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining Martha and me. Let's talk about textures.
This is an ocean sponge, but most any sponge will create unique, useful textures. Again, I'm using a paper block to contain the shape of the textures. Look how visually entertaining the texture becomes when I carve out specific shapes that indicate subject matter. Now for a practical demo. As you know, Martha and I spent October and November this past year in New England. We caught the tail end of the fall colors. Trees, rocks, and water reflections lend themselves to textural possibilities. Here, I'm sprinkling some salt into the area of reflections. I'm also sticking my fingers into my paint bucket and flicking water droplets into the damp pigment. Where I know I want some dark reflections next to the white reflections of the tree trunk in the water, I'm introducing phthalo blue and burnt sienna while the page is still wet. Red Hot Mama is mixed into the cool puddle in my palette to create a warm fall neutral, then placed and counterbalanced on the page. Here I'm using a crumbled up paper towel to lift off a light where the dark shadow color has seeped into the sage light. And now I'm lifting more textured lights in the reflections. Again, I'm creating textures with my paper towel. I should say here, I don't usually utilize this many textural techniques in one painting, but for the purposes of demonstration, I want you to see their practical applications. This strong dark green is mixed with phthalo blue and burnt sienna and placed above the dark reflections below it. Again, using salt once the reflection is just damp. Here I soften and pre-wet before bringing pigment. This gray blue is mostly phthalo, but I add burnt sienna into it for just a little variety. Once again, I mix a neutral orange with aureolin red hot bama, but this time just a touch more cerulean. I want the far shore to stay back and not compete with the shore on the right, so I'm keeping it close in value with just a few hints of tree trunks and limbs. Now phthalo blue is mixed into the burnt sienna permanent magenta puddle and delivered to the page. After this trunk is painted with the dark pigment, I lift out with a paper towel and tickle the trunk with dark pigment texture. It appears a little too light over on the right side, so I mix more of my neutral orange and drop down the light to middle value. Once again, I use my Winsor Newton beveled handle to scrape out a lighter limb or two. With the far right tree silhouette still damp, I like bringing in a few darks to the trunk so it diffuses just a bit. Now I'm stopping to dry off the page. I need to address a problem here. The white tree in the middle left isn't reading well. In my sketch, it doesn't bother me having the darker tree on its left overlap, but sketches can only give limited information. I've decided to try to bring the white tree forward and push the dark tree on its left back. Painting in the negative spaces between the limbs helps a little. Now I'm using a stiff bristle Winsor Newton 1/2 inch flat to lift off the foliage of the overlap. Here I place artist tape to block on the left tree, and again use my 1/2 inch Winsor Newton to scrub off the overlapping foliage. As you can see, I'm getting pretty rough with the scrubbing, but I've found over the years that the 140 arches can handle it. After blotting, I grab a plastic card to block and use my Mr. Clean eraser to lift out a hard-edged light on the right side of the trunk. Okay, the lifting has worked pretty well. Now I'll darken the light holes on the left tree to push it back behind the light trunk. Again, the card is used as a block. And now the light tree comes forward.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll try out these texture effects. Thanks for being with Martha and me. We'll see you soon.